Love them or hate them, every PlayStation game has them. Trophies. Those little virtual achievements that you unlock for performing certain tasks within games. Now, some are simple story-based progression trophies, while others can be tied to collectibles or kills with certain weapons and so on. But one thing you can guarantee with pretty much every trophy list is that they always contain that one bullshit PlayStation trophy. So today's bullshit trophy can be found in World War Z. This online co-op shooter has a bunch of grindy trophies as it is, which require you to unlock all the guns and level up all the classes. Now, while that's pretty easy, it is fucking annoying in itself, as the game is rather short, so you'll be playing the same missions over and over and over again to get enough XP to unlock everything. Talk about a grind fest, well, this is it. But that's not the bullshit trophy. Oh no, they've really outdid themselves with that one bullshit trophy called Owner. The Owner is a silver trophy, and it requires you to capture a control point in swarm domination mode and hold it for the duration of a match. Now, swarm is like your typical control point zone mode where you have to capture A, B and C, which is found in most shooters. However, in this game you'll also get swarms of zombies invading the match to mix things up a bit. Now, anyone who's ever played this mode in any other shooter will know that this trophy is bullshit, because capturing all zones and holding them for the duration of an online game will hardly ever happen. It's bullshit because I am forced to rely on others to help me get this, so it's not really my own achievement. Sure, I can sit there and try and defend myself, but I can only do that for so long. Plus, at some stage the game will fuck you over with a load of zombies invading, or, even worse, when you want to quickly respawn, it will put you miles away at another control point. So, by the time you run all the way back to the one you were trying to defend, the enemy team has already taken it. Fucking hell. Even more bullshit is when you are searching for games and you end up joining a match mid-game. So, you sit on the loading screen waiting for what feels like ages, and then, when you finally get inside the game, the trophy is instantly voided because the team you've just joined are shit and they've already lost all the control points. What the fuck is this bullshit? The control point game's timer is like 15 minutes long, so the game expects you to hold it for that long. Fuck me. The points also take ages to fill up, especially if you only have 1 point in control and you need about 200 points to win. So good luck and be prepared to defend this point from a near endless wave of enemies and zombies. Oh, and don't you dare fuck up once, son, or else you'll not get this trophy. Why, oh why did they think this was a good idea? A better trophy would have been to capture all of the points within a match, but it didn't matter if you'd lost them. Or maybe have it so that you need to hold a point for the majority of the match instead. You know, so if I have it for 5 minutes and the enemy team only controls it for 1 minute, I'd still get it. I think that would have worked much better. But no, instead it's a bullshit and unrealistic trophy that very few people, especially those who are playing solo, are unlikely to get. As a result, you're going to find most people who have this crap trophy have likely boosted it in a match with friends, or just got extremely lucky. Fuck this trophy, and fuck this platinum. There's no way I'm leveling up everything in this game, let alone getting this bollocks trophy. World War Z's Owner Trophy gets a bullshit rating of...
Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
Bullshit!
that one bullshit PlayStation trophy. This week's bullshit trophy is called A Friend in Need, which requires you to respond to a call for help and revive the agent. Now, that sounds fairly straightforward, doesn't it? Well, yeah, you'd think so, but this trophy is just pure bullshit, and this video will explain why. The game in question is The Division 2, which is an online co-op based shooter. The majority of the game's trophies are fairly straightforward, with a mixture of single player and multiplayer related trophies. And despite some dodgy Dark Zone trophies, like the DZ occupied hijack one, those stupid fucking robot dogs, I didn't find the trophies that hard. They were just time consuming. That was, however, until I went for the A Friend in Need trophy. So a call for help can appear randomly in your game while roaming around the city. You'll see a help message come up as another player has been defeated, and you have a few seconds to respond to the call, otherwise it'll be ignored. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've failed to even respond to these calls, thanks to the tiny fucking text on screen that makes it so fucking hard to see what button to fucking press. You gotta press the button to hold and go to the map, then you gotta press another button to respond to the fucking call. Ugh. Anyways, once you do actually respond in time, you are then loaded into that person's game, and this is where the next bit of bullshit is jumped onto you. The problem is that the game takes so fucking long to load you in that by the time you do arrive in that person's game, the person calling for help has gotten bored of waiting and has just respawned themselves, so you've now missed your opportunity to actually fucking revive them. You know, the whole fucking bloody point of this bullshit trophy. Ugh. So I decide to stay with them and wait for them to get downed again. Yet, even without me killing people, the stupid AI struggles to even kill that person. Only for them then to become crack shots and murder me right away as I run over to help them. For fuck's sake, this is bullshit. Kidding me? I've just gone fucking down myself. I swear the enemies, it just switches a switch and then they just fucking do a shitload of damage, man. It's horse shit. Absolute horse shit. Eventually, you will look out and manage to heal or revive someone, only to find that the trophy doesn't even fucking pop. Yep, that's right, it doesn't even fucking work. I've joined someone's game, I've revived them and their friends multiple fucking times, and yet this thing still doesn't fucking pop. What more do I have to do, game? Now the third one, now here. Another one. Nothing. Fourth one. Nothing. Bullshit. Give me now, that's a sick one.
I watched a video on YouTube.
I've read that you have to reinstall it to get it to work. Fuck reinstalling this game. You can fucking fix the fucking thing. Where's the problem? In this room now, I've had 6 or 7 heals on 3 of the different people. Definitely don't work. And this was me responding to a call for help. This trophy is glitched in a major way, which is why it's bullshit, despite its simple task of just reviving someone. The dumb thing is that when I finally did get it to unlock after a good 30 odd attempts, it unlocked after I revived myself in someone else's game. So to unlock it, I didn't even do what the description states. Instead, I joined someone else's game, failed to help them, and got healed by my own gadget after getting down. Wow, what an achievement that was, hey? So that is why a Friend in Need trophy on the Division 2 gets a bullshit rating of...
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
That one bullshit PlayStation trophy. Dragon Ball FighterZ's trophy list is just absolute bullshit. This is some A-grade quality shit fresh from a bull's arse right here, people. I can't just single out a single trophy in this list, as there are several ones tucked away in what would otherwise be a fairly standard list for a fighting game. There are two in particular that just send a shiver down my spine at the mere thought of them, and quite frankly, the devs can go and fuck themselves for putting them in. They are the My Power level is 530,000 and the Set for Life trophy. The My Power level trophy requires you to play and win ranked matches online in order to gain the required amount of battle points, or BP if you will. The main problem is in how much BP you are required to get, and the actual amount you win when playing. In ranked matches you earn BP for wins, and this can be anywhere from 100 BP to several thousand BP, depending on who you are playing against rank-wise, and how flashy your finisher is. So BP is earned by winning matches, but what makes it bullshit is that you lose BP if you lose a match online. This means that a single loss can cause you to go down around 2000 BP or more, and it's pretty much always a big amount like this, regardless of how close the match was. You could get beaten outright doing 0 damage to the opponent and lose the same amount of BP as if you brought a game down to the wire, with your opponent being down to one guy as well with a tiny bit of health left. For some fucking reason it just ignores the actual fight and only takes into consideration a straight win or a straight loss. This single design choice of losing BP ruins this trophy completely and makes it such a bullshit grind to play out. What's even worse is when you do win, or should I say, when you are about to win, a good 50% of the fucking time you'll find that people will just rage quit right at the end as they're about to lose. This leaves you without gaining any BP from the win, as the match is then voided for both people. What the fuck? So you then have to win even more battles than you should and hope that they don't quit out? What were they thinking? It should count as a win, for fuck's sake. There are also other frustrations with this trophy and ranked matches, such as the matchmaking system. It can often take you fucking ages to pair up with someone, and worse still, you can accept a fight with someone and then get no response back. This then means that you result in being locked on screen and forced to wait for the 20 odd second countdown for timeout and the game to then say it's declined. No fucking shit, Sherlock, that's why it didn't fucking respond. I really didn't need to wait 20 seconds to figure that one out. Ugh, I swear some players troll me on purpose. Then there's the players who can just kill you in one combo, and you'll find yourself pinned into a corner until your health runs out. Now maybe I'm just shit, but I swear to God, 5 minutes on this game online and my blood is fucking boiling. It's so fucking frustrating. So to get the 530,000, you've got to deal with poor matchmaking systems, you've got to try not to run into too many rage quitters, and try to survive against the pros who can one combo kill you, hoping that they are few and far in between, so you can actually build up some BP before having those wins you worked really hard for almost wiped out completely after a single bullshit loss. The my power level is 530,000 trophy and Dragon Ball Fighterz Z is absolute bullshit. I've played for so many hours now and gotten so many wins, and I'm still about 100,000 BP away from it. Isn't that enough, game? Why is it such a fucking grind? What more do you want from me? But what did I expect? As this is the same game that expects you to earn 20 million Zeni, the currency you get when taking part in an online or offline fight for the Set for Life trophy. 20 million Zeni. I can get anywhere between 100 and 1,000 Zeni per fight, though it averages for me at about 500 Zeni. That's about 40,000 fights. 40,000 fights. The game wants me to play 40,000 times. 40,000 times? 40,000? What were they thinking? Who the hell is going to do that? There are other games out there, other things to do, yet it expects me to play for over 200 hours just to get these fucking trophies. No. No more. No more fucking bullshit grindy trophies. If you want people to play your game for longer, to give you time to make up and sell the DLC, then release a fucking game with actual fucking content in the first place, and don't make 2 trophies take an absolute fucking age to earn, where you have to do the same shitty thing over and over. There's no skill there. There's no skill at all. It's just a test of patience. And you know what, game? Mine's run out, so fuck you. Trophies up your fucking ass and kiss my fucking Dragon Balls game, you fucking cunt. And that's why Dragon Ball Fighterz Z's my power level and the Set for Life trophies get a bullshit rating of
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit! You said so! It's all bullshit!
Bullshit. Shit. Shit.
one bullshit PlayStation trophy. Sonic Heroes trophy in Sonic Team Racing requires you to complete a team race with 2 additional players in local couch co-op, which basically means you can't do it online with friends, as they need to be at your house playing on your console. What makes this trophy bullshit is the equipment needed to unlock it, not the actual requirements for the trophy, as it assumes every player has either 1 or 2 of these things. Number 1, 2 mates who have a PS4 and are actually willing to come round to yours and play, bringing their pads with them. Or 2, the fact that the player themselves has a bunch of extra pads for the console, so they can either do it solo with 3 pads, or get their parents, siblings, or housemates involved. What a load of bullshit. I mean, look, I know the average gamer will probably have 2 pads or maybe a couple of mates to borrow some off. But what about the little guy? You know, the kids, you know, who are the target audience for this game, whose mum brought him an Xbox One while all his school friends got a PS4. Little Jummy has no way of getting this trophy now. Sorry, son, Sega says, you're shit out of luck. That right there is what makes this trophy bullshit. It's not the requirement to unlock it, as completing a race is easy. Plus, you don't even have to win the race itself, you just need to complete it with 3 players. It's just bullshit, as it assumes you have people who are willing to play and the actual extra pads to do it with. And if you don't, it's kind of pushing you to either make friends, buy more controllers, or get your mates to buy the game. It just feels like it's a ploy to get you to buy more of either the game or pads in general. And I don't really see the point of it. It's a dumb trophy. Now, I actually have about 4 PS4 pads right now, mainly because my 2 launch pads were absolute fucking shit, and the sticks just peeled off, along with the weak springs in the R2 button, so I can't even accelerate on one of the pads now. But I can at least easily do this solo. However, for some this just won't be possible, as they don't have extra pads, and also people might only have friends online who live miles away, so a local co-op session isn't possible to everybody. It's also bullshit, as this isn't the first time Sumo Digital have included a stupid trophy like this in their lists for the Sonic racing games. I'm pretty certain Sonic All-Stars Racing also had some bullshit 4-player co-op trophy, which was even more bollocks than this one, as you actually had to win and have everyone in like 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th place, I think, which was just bollocks. That one was really, really bad and an absolute nightmare to get, so I don't know why they've tried to do that again here. Even that seems to be like they're trying to make it easier this time round, because they realised that it was absolute bullshit before, so now you just have to play a race instead of actually win it with your friends. God damn it, Sega. Anyways, in short, this is an easy to get but obnoxiously bullshit trophy due to the fact that it assumes every player has extra pads or people willing to play. But at least you don't actually have to win the race together as a team, as that would have been really annoying, especially if you're getting your mom to play and she's just rubbish or something. Anyway, that's why the Sonic Heroes trophy in Team Sonic Racing gets a bullshit rating of...
Bullshit. Bullshit.
that one bullshit PlayStation trophy. Beat Zico HD Gold Trophy requires you to equal or beat the lap time of 30.82 seconds on an Alpha Pass forward speed lap Venom using the Piranha ship, and it's one of the toughest trophies in the original Wipeout HD game, and now even more so in this PS4 Omega collection. To get a time of 30.82 seconds or better is no simple task, and this time trial based trophy will push you to the absolute breaking point. I say it's bullshit due to just exactly how precise you need to be at all times throughout the track. Miss a single boost opportunity or come off and onto ramps awkwardly and you most likely won't get a time better or equal to it. This isn't a simple 5 laps around the track and you'll get the time beaten type of trophy. It's a genuinely bloody good time set by someone at the studio who was quite frankly godlike at this game, or at least this one track. It's a bullshit trophy just due to how deceptively tough an Alpha Pass is to get through that quick. When you first start out it won't seem that bad, as this is one of the early tracks in the game and it's quite straightforward on first glance. However, as you race around and around the track lap after lap, getting nowhere near that time, you will quickly realise you have a great big mountain to climb here. Scrape the ship up against the edge of the track too much, you're finished, this lap is too slow. Fail to chain the 2-3 boosts near the start of the track together, too slow for Zico. come out of the bridge jump and miss it slightly, too slow. You get the idea. The worst part of the track, however, comes near the end when you get out of the twisty turny tunnel and have to do a boost jump off a ramp and onto a very thin bridge. This for me was the most bullshit part of the lap and the single biggest run killer for me in terms of areas where I failed. You see, in order to beat Zico, it isn't enough to simply jump off this ramp and land on that bridge, as you will be nowhere near fast enough going along it. You can have the perfect run everywhere else, but if you don't do this bit right, I doubt you'll be fast enough. So, instead of just jumping onto it, you need to boost off this ramp, do a barrel roll in midair, and still land onto this tiny bridge in order to give you another boost as you land, allowing you to speed along the bridge towards the boost pad. This all happens in like 1 to 2 split seconds, and you need to have a perfect angle going off the ramp in order to roll in the air and adjust to land on the bridge. You will fail here countless times, and even then you won't always manage to perfect it enough so that you can do it every time. You have to take the jump wide to allow you enough room to wiggle the fuck out of the analog stick to then roll the ship sideways, and then you have to quickly adjust and pray to God that you are aligned with the centre of the bridge. Then, on the times where you do get it, you have to make sure that you remain calm, despite the fact that you'll be like, oh my fucking God, I did it at this point, so that you can focus and finish the lap as fast as possible. On this jump, you will overshoot it, undershoot it, land on the bridge with the ship half hanging off, land on the bridge perfectly, but panic and then fall off, and even more stupid mistakes. In short, you will fucking hate this bridge. Fuck this bridge, it's an absolute cunt. The other bullshit parts are when you fail a run and have essentially wasted a lap. It's not best to simply hit restart either, as you will need a warm-up lap in order to use the boost that you get to go over the finish line to give you a faster start than normal on the next lap. So if you fail at any point, you then have to do an annoying dud lap around the track to bring you back around to the start so you can use that boost. Worse still, if you bugger up the run having used the boost already, then you'll have to do yet another lap on top of that before you can actually start the run. This really frustrates and grinds your gears, as there are so many different ways to fail this run. So around you go, again and again and again and again, completing loads of laps and slowly chipping away at the time, despite every failed attempt you have. It will push you to a breaking point, and you will grow to despise your fucking ghost ship as you struggle to match the pace of your personal best time. It is an agonising grind, with you looking at doing potentially hundreds of laps before your time in the sun comes. But then, after all those hours, days, weeks, hell, maybe even months of trying, something awesome happens. You enter the zone, and all those little mistakes are gone. Those mini successes you had in bursts all come back in one by one, and you start to string it all together. The boost, the bridge, the barrel rolls, it all comes naturally now, and you have the perfect lap. In that moment, you are one with your ship, one with the game. You are the pilot, and as you cross the finish line, you hear it. Ding! Trophy unlocked. Then, it's tears, fists in the air, screams, laughter, pure joy, relief, pride. You'll probably have all of these emotions once you beat Zico and unlock his goddamn fucking trophy. Then, as you sit down, you'll think back over how long it took you, and you know what? you'll be thankful for it. Because this trophy wasn't bullshit at all. It was more than some bullshit time trial trophy. This, for me at least, was the game's tutorial level. You see, if you've beaten Zico, you are most definitely racing at a much higher level than you were before, and at what you even thought was possible in the game. You've now got the true meaning and true sense of what it feels like to be a Wipeout pilot. So thank you, Zico. You made me better at an awesome racing game, and that is why the Beat Zico trophy on Wipeout Omega Collection gets a bullshit rating of
No shit.
that one bullshit PlayStation trophy. Resident Evil 2 Remake's trophy list is a pretty decent one, to be honest, and while it's not as fun as the original Resident Evil Remake's list, there are still a few enjoyable trophies that encourage you to play the game in different ways. However, for me, there is one easy but bullshit trophy in the list, and that is the A Small Carbon Footprint trophy. This silver trophy requires you to complete the game having taken 14,000 steps or less throughout the entire game. Yes, you heard me right. This game is now going to count every fucking step my little virtual character takes throughout this slow survival horror title. How fucking dumb is that? The trophy is like having a Fitbit on your arm and tracking how many steps you bloody take each day. If I wanted to exercise, I'd fucking do it for real, for Christ's sake. Well, I guess that's how Claire stays in shape at least. Unlike her brother Chris, who just uses steroids and punches boulders to get in shape. Anyway, it's time to ditch that bike and start walking Claire Bear. So off she goes, stepping through the game in as little steps as possible. Now, on my first playthrough, I was at around the mid 20,000 steps as I finished it, as I didn't really know where to go, and I was moving from safe room to safe room, avoiding Mr. X, and doing a lot of backtracking to find items that I needed. So this is definitely a speedrun type trophy. However, what makes it bullshit is that the game already has trophies tied to speedrunning in form of the S rank trophies, which are all based on the playtime in order to get the S rank, which is then an extension of the steps you take. You know, because the less steps you take, the quicker you're completing it. So there's no point in having another trophy about completing it quickly, is there, Capcom? Ugh. It's a case of a trophy being made redundant by several other trophies on the list, and I think they could have put a much better one in its place. It's just an absolute waste of a trophy, especially a silver one, and being based around steps taken. It's not even that interesting, and one that you would just get naturally anyway. So, you play through the game, conscious of every step you take, every move you make, and initially, you'll have no idea of how many you've taken. I got through the police station quite quick there, but I have no idea of how many steps I actually took. The game should show you, right? That's because the game decides to bury the step counter within multiple menu screens, so it's awkward to keep a fucking track of the steps you take. My friends playing this game weren't even aware that there was a counter and just did it blindly, while I only stumbled across it by pure luck just browsing through the menus. Way to go, Capcom. Way to fucking go. Even worse than the dodgy hidden counter is what the game actually counts as a step. If you aim your gun and turn on a spot, that also seems to count as a step sometimes. fall over and animate getting back up, well, that's more steps taken. Worse still, die and continue playing, well, all the steps you took between the checkpoints when you died are still counted, so you better make sure you don't die too many times during this run, otherwise you may find you've taken one step too many by mistake. Hell, take a few wrong turns and it might even fuck you over. Now, the trophy itself isn't that hard to actually unlock once you've played through a few times, as by then you'll know where to go, what to do, and what the best route to take through the police station is. Yet, it still kind of ruins the experience in a way, as you're just sort of rushing through it.
When I wake up, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I can't try, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets right next to you. And if I heaver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's singing to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. I'm working, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working out for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I grow old, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's growing old with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. When I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you.
On the playthrough where I unlocked the trophy, I realised by the end train section on the second run playthroughs, I'd already taken 13,998 steps or so when I actually got to the final Birkin boss on the train. This meant that I then had to stand on the spot and fight him without moving, praying to God that I didn't actually move or get knocked over by him, which would cause me to do another 2 or 3 steps. It was a close call, that's for sure, but I eventually got it, with 2 steps to spare. Anyways, my point is that I just don't see the point in this bullshit trophy. Like I said, there are other S-rank trophies there that already do this speedrun type challenge, so this one just feels kind of like a wasted trophy. In the original Resident Evil, it got you to play the game in multiple different ways. There was the knife only playthrough, there was the invisible enemy playthrough, there was then the speedrun playthroughs and the never healing playthroughs, yet this game just ignores those and goes with this stupid steps trophy. There's just no point. And that is why a small carbon footprint trophy in the Resident Evil 2 remake gets a bullshit rating of...
Bullshit. Bullshit.
that one bullshit PlayStation trophy. So Crash Team Racing's nitro-fueled trophy list was leaked the other week, and it's one that I've been eagerly awaiting, and if I'm honest, in part dreading, just in case they include some online multiplayer trophies. So, as I fired up PSN profiles and looked down the list, I was expecting to see some bullshit trophies, like, I don't know, win 100 online races, or reach a CTR rank of 500 or some bullshit. But thankfully, and surprisingly, there were no online trophies at all. Instead, you have a good mixture of weapon, shortcut, story and time trial based trophies, with the time trial trophies probably being perhaps the hardest ones on the list. But overall, there's nothing overly bullshit. Now this is a trophy list. Well done, Crash. So, this got me thinking about just how bullshit online trophies can be sometimes, and how they can just ruin a platinum run, or worse still, your experience or overall enjoyment of a game. So, on today's episode of That One Bullshit PlayStation Trophy, I'm going to go through the most bullshit types of online trophies. A dying multiplayer game or mode. For people who buy games pre-owned, online trophies can be utter bullshit to get, as smaller games will have their online player base tumble after the first few months of release if it's not a big hit. So any team-based co-op trophies requiring multiple people are now fucked, as there's just not enough players who've stuck around in that time left. This is usually the fate of smaller indie PSN store games, and it makes platinum those a right pain in the arse. The Worms games, the Pixel Junk Shooter game, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid are all examples I can think of here. Worse still was last gen, when games came with an online pass. Thank fuck those have mostly gone the way of the dodo now. Tacked on multiplayer that no one's even playing. Last gen especially, when the multiplayer craze really took hold, there was nothing worse than seeing your favourite single player series get a sequel with a tacked on and often shite multiplayer mode. Ghostbusters the video game, Dead Space 3, Bioshock 2, for some people at least, I quite liked it, and the Fear series are a few examples that I can think of here that were completely fucked by some online mode. In the case of Fear 2, that game had an average multiplayer mode which was pretty much dead on arrival, at least on the PS3. I remember playing it the first week online and struggling to get full games even then, and by the time I had collected all the single player trophies, the online portion of the game was well and truly dead. Great, so now I can't even get the fucking platinum. For free, it again had online, and for the first week, I absolutely grinded the fuck out of online first before even touching the single player. And it just wasn't fun. That's just not what I want to be doing when buying a single player story focused title. Bullshit. Games whose online servers have closed. One of the biggest problems I have with online trophies is their lifespan, as games all too often have their online service shut down entirely after just a few years, completely blocking you from even attempting to earn those goddamn trophies. Worse still is when the game is an online-only game, like SOCOM Confrontation on the PS3, leaving you now in 2019 with nothing but a Drinks Coaster disc and an incomplete trophy list. If you were going to close the servers, you really should just auto-unlock all of the online trophies for everyone, or change their requirements to single player. To make this easier, All multiplayer games should have offline bots mode or something once the server closes, so you can still actually play that part of the game in a sort of roundabout way. Online, co-op and luck-based trophies. Now, for me, some of the worst online trophies I hate are the ones which require you to perform actions in sequence with random strangers, or do something out of the ordinary when battling against random people. A good example of this was the Burnout Paradise trophy for getting 8 people, I believe, into the arena at any one time. Now, when you're playing online, most fucking people are just driving around doing their own thing. Trying to get everyone into that arena was a fucking nightmare, and it wasn't even a good trophy. What a pointless one. These trophies are the most unnatural type of trophies you can get, and ones in which you have to set up boost sessions to get, or be extremely lucky and patient to get them randomly. The Assassin's Creed games were also notorious for going this route, with their online multiplayer trophies where you had to perform loads of moves with people on your team in sequence, or achieve 100% synchronization, or whatever bollocks they were trying to get you to do. And this just means that people will create boost rooms to get these trophies, or worse still, you'll get people in your game not playing properly as they're going for an obscure trophy, causing your team to lose. Sonic and the Sega All-Stars Racing also had a load of bullshit online trophies. And who can forget the bullshit Control Zone trophy in World War Z? But you all know how I feel about that fucking thing. I'm sorry, but this is my trophy list for my achievements in game. I don't want to unlock ones that require the help of 2, 3 or more people. To me, that doesn't feel like my own trophy or achievement then, as I've had to have the help of other people in order to get it, and that just misses the point of my personal achievements. Grindy online trophies that are made even worse when you play the game later than other people. Trophies that require you to level up to X amount of levels, prestige or whatever, are also a pain, and made even worse if you are late to the party. If I don't buy a game from day one and start the grind online right away, I usually find that buying it 2 or 3 months after release, I'll find it twice as hard, as everyone else will be higher leveled than me, and most people already know the maps and modes inside out by then, giving new players a much tougher grind on their hands. The Division 1 and 2 are a good example of this, with the Dark Zone related trophies. Now, while it does split you into world tiers, people who are higher levels can still join you and troll you as you try and get the trophies for extracting in the Dark Zone. Unrealistic online trophies and requirements in games that overestimate a mode's popularity and how it will actually work in the real world. The Last of Us DLC trophies had trophies for each new map, providing that you get X amount of kills without dying for an entire match. Now, even for me, a really good player at Last of Us Online, particularly survivors, I find it really hard to get through a game without dying. And I'm pretty sure most other people did too, as they actually changed these trophy requirements to just get X amount of kills on each map for the PS4 remaster. Little Big Planet also had some really annoying trophies for its levels that you create, as it wanted you to get X amount of hearts, and this just led to a load of levels being made and a whole H for H campaign with players giving you a heart if you hearted them. You could spend hours like me creating a really unique level and not get any plays, let alone hearts, and that's really disheartening, especially when you see that the game was flooded with bullshit easy 1-second levels and a load of levels based on fucking popular games, movies or comics at the time. It was just a really shitty trophy, and I think pretty much everyone who brought the game hated the heart for heart trophies. Trophies with daily, weekly or monthly requirements. You know, those bullshit ones that require you to play for excessive amounts of time. These are one of my most hated trophies, those fucking daily, weekly challenges. Especially ones where they reset your progress after the timed period is over. Killzone 2 was the biggest, most bullshittingly bullshit example of this that I can remember, as you were required to be in the top 1% of players for any given week. That's right, 1% of players, the whole player base, you need to be in the top 1%. What the hell were they thinking here? This meant that I had to farm this fucking trophy out for a week solid, playing as much as I could, and by the time I did get it, I well and truly had enough of using the RPG in the park lobby map of the game. It was a fucking joke. A more recent example of this, for me at least, would be the Destiny 2 game's Raid Challenge, which gives you a save checkpoint when reaching certain stages of the raid, which then allows you to come back and try again later, which is really cool. Only problem is that the save is wiped each week, so you could spend hours and hours trying to get past those fucking dogs, only to lose all that progress and hard work come Monday morning when it puts you back at the very fucking beginning. There is no need for this to be wiped. Not everyone can play all day, every day, and it's why online trophies like this are bullshit. So there you have it, my list of my own bullshit problems that I have with online trophies. Let me know what annoys you about online trophies in the comments below. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time. But before I go, here's Arnie to sum it all up.
Bullshit, mate. Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
Shit! You said it's all bullshit!
Oh shit!
Shit! Shit!
Shit. Shit. Shit.
The Mad Max Platinum on PS4 is a rare and awkward platinum to unlock, currently sitting at a 0.7% unlocked rate, which is rather low. So, is it because it's an ultra tough game only for the most hardcore of hardcore players? Well, no, not really. Sure, it's a big game and it has difficulty spikes and it's time consuming, but it's not a super hard game. So, why is that platinum rate so low then, you may be wondering? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because the game has one complete and utter bullshit trophy called Up to the Task. This trophy requires you to complete all 144 challenges in the game. Yep, that's right, 144 of the bastards, because 100 wasn't enough, was it? So these cover a wide variety of different tasks, focusing on 3 specific areas: the open world exploration, car combat, and fighting as Max himself. You'll be doing things like repopulating campsites, killing enemies without getting hit, and destroying cars with certain weapons, and, to be honest, they're all pretty simple but time consuming to get. Though, you do need to constantly be aware of all the challenges to make sure you don't miss them at the right times when you should have done them, so it's definitely a trophy that gets in the way of you just playing the game. One of the longer challenges is the scavenging locations task, which requires you to loot all 191 scavenging locations within the open world. This single challenge is what makes this trophy bullshit, and is the sole reason why the platinum unlocked rate is so goddamn fucking low. So the first whiff of bullshit comes from just how many challenges there are to do, and then the secondary blast of bullshit is just how many scavenging locations you've got to loot on top of that. The map itself is huge, and driving around to loot all of these fucking areas will take quite some time, especially as you have to get quite far into the game in the first place in order to unlock access to the whole map. So, Max hops into his car and sets about driving around the vast wasteland, visiting each scavenging location on the map. I started at the bottom right, doing each small area at a time, working my way across to the left of the map, and then up and back over to the right again. Hours pass and your progress is slow, as it's not just a simple drive here, get out and pick it up kind of collectible. You see, as you drive, you'll constantly have to deal with bandits attempting to run you off the road, sandstorms that force you to take shelter and then wait them out, stopping to refuel or repair your vehicle after fights, or when you drive it off a cliff and wreck it. Then, when you do arrive at some of the locations, you'll find they are open, so you have to fight your way in, making sure you don't die before you can finally open that loot and tick that fucking location off your map. Another bullshit part about this trophies challenge is that some of the locations and hideouts are so awkward to get into, you need a fucking map and a tour guide to find the entrance. This means you'll sometimes be circling an area for ages, trying to find out how the fuck you get into this place, as the cuntish waypoint says you're directly on top of the goddamn thing. For fuck's sake, this is as bullshit as Arkham Knight's collectibles. Ugh. So, eventually, you find your way in and loot the area. Then, it's off to the next one on the map. A few hours in, you'll probably have done the lower half, and the boredom will have definitely set in by now. But you've come too far to give up now, so you push on with this bullshit task. On and on you go in your car, with only your faithful sidekick to keep you somewhat sane as you drive through this barren wasteland, prizing open all these loot crates with your crowbar, until eventually you put that last tick down on the map. Hell yeah, 191 of 191 scavenging locations looted. Time to check the challenge list and see what other ones I have left for me to finally unlock the up to the task trophy. What? 190 of 191? That can't be right. I printed out a map with all the locations on, and they've all been ticked. What the fuck is this shit? Yep, that's right. After a good week or so of doing this challenge, bit by bit, I finally get all 191 of them, only for the in-game tracker to glitch out and only show it as 190 of 191. You've got to be fucking kidding me, game. The deaths, the miles, the storms, the stupid bandits trying to kill me, the obscure hideouts that took me ages to find my way into and loot, plus all of the mind-numbing driving to collect all of them, and this is how it ends? I put up with all of that shit day after day just for you to slap me in the goddamn face and say no, try again, sucker? What the fuck, game? You cannot be serious with this shit. Come on. So, the 100 plus challenges I already completed are now ruined, as I have one of the 144 challenges broken, so I can no longer unlock the up to the task trophy. If I want to get this trophy now, I have to loot all 191 areas again, and I have to go back and do all the other 143 challenges again. Again? If you are going to put in multiple stats, as well as large long-term stats like this in a game, and then have the stupid idea to tie them all in to one single bullshit trophy, then it's fucking common sense, surely, that you make sure the fucking counters actually work and record the right fucking stats. Who the fuck dropped a bollock on this one, Avalanche? Avalanche Studios? More like Avalanche of bullshit studios? So, I spent another week going over each location on my maps, trying to find the one that I may have missed, just in case it was me. And you know what? I eventually actually found the box location that glitched, and it still won't let me open the goddamn box. Ugh, come on, open that fucking box. God damn it. Just fucking open the box, man. Please. I'm begging you, game. Please. Fuck it. Fuck it all. But you know, that's not the worst part. No. The most bullshit part of this story is that it was discovered really early on in the game's lifetime, and the game has received several patches during the time of these complaints, and none of them have addressed this issue. Why? There are forum posts everywhere about this bug, countless YouTube videos and guides on how to try and get around it. Playing on unpatched versions is an option, however, that base game version is more prone to crashes and has a few unique glitches of its own, so you'll probably get all of them to find something else fucks up. It was only the last year or so when the game got its latest patch for HDR support, and yet they didn't even bother to fix a game-breaking bug. What the hell? You patched the old game for HDR support, yet you don't even bother to patch it to fix the broken game? Jesus. Even when it was on PlayStation Plus and more new people played it and encountered this glitch, they still didn't bother to fix this issue. Yet we get a patch for HDR which hardly anyone fucking has anyway. This is utter bullshit. The latest patch has now made the game even more broken, and I think the Platinum is definitely unobtainable now, as you can't get this and a few other issues that have occurred, meaning you can't get some other challenges done. This is just absolute bullshit, and it's unacceptable. And so, Mad Max is destined to always be a shitty stain on my trophy list, an uncompleted game that was ruined by one bullshit trophy, and that is why the Up to the Challenge trophy on Mad Max gets a bullshit rating of...
No shit, man. Don't bullshit me. Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
Bullshit. You said so. It's all bullshit.
Oh shit!
Shit.
Have you ever played a rubbish game or a really easy one purely for the Platinum trophy, and the instant it was unlocked, you had that guilty, shameful feeling of regret? Well, I had that with the My Name is Mayo Platinum trophy, which is probably the most bullshit Platinum I have ever gotten or seen since trophies on PlayStation began. The My Name is Mayo Platinum trophy is bullshit because of what you are required to do in the game, if you can even call it a game, as all you have to do is simply press X 10,000 times. Yep, you heard me right. This game's Platinum and all its trophies are pretty much unlocked by simply spamming the X button 10,000 times. It's as simple and bullshit as that, and as a result, it ends up being a cheap, dirty and bullshit Platinum to have on your trophy list. So in the game, you see a 2D drawing of a mayonnaise jar, and all you have to do is spam the X button to have an in-game hand tap the jar with its finger. Upon reaching tap milestones, you'll unlock story points and outfits for the jar of mayonnaise, which you can then wear, such as the bikini or rock outfit, and these will unlock more trophies as you continue to tap X on the jar while wearing them, along with other outfits and challenges the more you tap X. You do have to change outfits a fair bit upon unlocking rewards, but other than some basic menu inventory screen navigation, the game is just press X to win, which begs the question, what is the point of My Name is Mayo? Well, there isn't one. It's just a waste of space on my PS4's hard drive, a waste of space on my trophy list, and it's even a waste of the small amount of space it takes up on Sony's servers to host this game. Upon getting this Platinum, I laughed, and then quite frankly, felt embarrassed. Embarrassed at what I had just spent the last hour or so doing, but hey, I needed to boost my Platinum count up a bit, so it served a purpose, I guess. Other than that, though, there is no point to playing this game. It's not a Platinum to brag about. There's no skill involved, and it's not even a rare platinum. Now, I do have hard and even extremely hard platinums in my collection, as well as a mixture of normal and easy ones. But a game like this, well, this is on a whole new level of absurdly easy platinums. I mean, you can have Terminator, Sly Cooper, Hannah Montana, Coffin Dodgers, Meow Motors, 36 Fragments of Midnight, and all the Telltale games. These are all easy platinums that are on my list, but with those at least, they were actual games. Sure, some were shit, like Coffin Dodgers, some were good, like some of the Telltale games, and some were just okay, but all of them were actual games, a piece of interactive entertainment that a bunch of people spent time on and took pride in their work in their attempt to make something fun. These were games that made you play them. Even if they were lacking in any real challenge, you still did stuff and had some fun and memorable moments going for the platinum. The My Name is Mayo platinum, on the other hand, is just a picture of a mayonnaise jar that you tap 10,000 times. Really? That's not a game, that's not fun. It's not hard, it's just a cheap cash grab attempt to lure in trophy hunters like myself who need a quick fix of a platinum and make a little bit of money out of them. So, by the time you get the My Name is Mayo platinum trophy, the only things you are left with are a sore hand and regret. Regret for what you just made your poor PS4 play. Regret for your trophy list, which now has a huge mayonnaise shit stain on it. Regret for your controller's X button that's now 10,000 wasted presses closer to breaking. Regret for the news feed on your PS4 that now shows all your friends what you just played and platinumed. Regret for ever liking trophies in the first place and reaching such a low point that you actually went out and brought the My Name is Mayo game for the trophies. Shame on them for making it. Shame on Sony for selling it. And shame on me and everyone else for buying it. And that is why the My Name is Mayo Platinum Trophy gets a bullshit rating of...
No shit. Don't bullshit me. Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
That one bullshit PlayStation trophy.
That one bullshit Metal Gear trophy.
The Steel Grip trophy in Metal Gear Solid 2 requires you to gain a level 3 quality grip, and it's perhaps the most pointless and bullshit trophy on the list. The grip meter is pretty much your stamina bar, and once it reaches 0, Snake or Raiden will fall from whatever ledge they are hanging on. The higher your grip level, the longer you can hang off something, which will help slightly at various points throughout the game, though it is by no means essential to have it maxed out. In order to level up, the player must hang from a ledge and then do pull-ups by holding down both the L2 and R2 buttons to simulate the pull-up as if you were actually doing exercises yourself to build up the muscles. It's a weird Kojima Easter egg, and it's pretty neat out of the box thinking really. However, it makes for a bullshit trophy, as you have to manually do about 200 pull-ups while hanging from a ledge in order to slowly fill up this gauge and level it up to grip meter 3. So back and forth I go, doing it in the rain on the tanker as Solid Snake, while avoiding the patrolling guards and making sure to climb up before the meter drains fully so I don't fall down and hurt myself. Up and down I go, again and again and again, repeatedly, as that grip meter slowly starts to fill up as I get stronger and stronger. The annoying part is, though, that you can only do about 4 pull-ups at the start before the meter runs out, so it takes you even longer. If I wanted to exercise though, game, I'd fucking do it in real life. The last thing I want to do is stop my game and have my playable character do some exercises to get stronger instead of his actual mission. This is like the Angel of Darkness bullshit all over again.
My legs feel stronger.
It's just such a weird and pointless trophy that it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. As mentioned earlier, it's not essential for players' progress to have a level 3 grip meter, as you can still get around most places while hanging with a level 1 meter. Sure, in a tanking sector, it will allow you to take the higher path above all the soldiers to reach an extra dog tag or two, but aside from those through moments, there isn't really much use for it or an advantage to have a maxed out grip meter. So I get the feeling Kojima and Konami themselves are just trolling us all with this trophy.
Did you like it?
But I need it. If I want to get that platinum, I'm gonna have to do some exercise, I guess. Okay, let's just do it. 200 pull-ups. How hard can it be?
Congrats, Snake. Looks like those pull-ups were worth it. Your grip strength is up.
Oh god. Trophy unlocked. Whew. Oh god. That was a 20-minute workout and a half. And to be honest, I've pretty much just wasted my time there. But hey, at least I have max grip now, which I'll barely ever use or actually need. But I do have a nice shiny trophy to go with it. But if, like me, you decided to do it with Solid Snake in the Tanker chapter right at the beginning of the game to get it out of the way, then, well, congratulations. Snake will now have a cold, and will often sneeze whenever guards are nearby, so you best find some medicine pronto. And there you have it, the Steel Grip trophy. In short, by going for this trophy, you'll just waste your time and catch a cold for your troubles. Great. This is probably the only trophy I can think of that will actually make you sick upon getting it. All of which is why the Steel Grip trophy on Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty gets a bullshit trophy rating of...
No shit, man. Don't bullshit me.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
But one thing you can guarantee with pretty much every trophy list is that they always contain that one bullshit PlayStation trophy.
That one bullshit Metal Gear trophy.
The It Ain't Easy Being Green trophy in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater challenges you with collecting, or rather shooting, all 64 of the hidden frogs within the game. These toy frogs are the game's token collectible trophy, but the difference here is that you must hit them to have it register instead of physically collecting them. The frogs are scattered throughout the game, and there is a fairly decent mixture of obvious and more well-hidden ones that you should be able to naturally pick up, or rather shoot, on your first playthrough. When shot, the frog will make a strange noise, so the player at least knows they are counted. Unfortunately, there are a few things which makes this trophy bullshit. The first being that there is no in-game counter or checklist for you to see exactly how many you have and which ones you are missing. All collectibles in games should have an in-game tracker, so I don't have to manually write out the list and tick them off one by one. Come on people, this is Trophy 101. The next bullshit issue is that some of the frogs are actually missable, and if there's one thing that is guaranteed to bring my piss to a boil, it's missable collectibles. You see, you can't always go back to certain areas, as they are blocked off at certain story points, and there's nothing worse than moving too far forwards in an area you're trying to explore to find a fucking frog, only for you to accidentally trigger a cutscene instead, which then dumps you in a new area with no way back by the end of the cutscene. It's utter bullshit. And to make matters worse, there is no chapter select after beating the game, which means if you are unlucky enough to miss a single frog, you are potentially facing yet another full playthrough to go back and shoot the damn thing. In fact, I could be wrong, but I think you need to get them all in a single playthrough anyways, which, if I am right, hey, it's been a while since I played this game, give me a break. Then that really is bullshit, as collecting all of these is the only way to unlock the cool stealth suit. What the hell, Kojima?
Did you like it?
Now, everything I've just mentioned relates to most collectible type trophies in games, but what puts this frog collectible higher up on the bullshit scale are the two sets of frogs found in a later area of the game. Now, if you've gotten this trophy yourselves, you'll probably know which sections I'm referring to and why they are so annoying. Yep, it's the on-the-rails bike sections which trigger after defeating Raven for the first time, as Snake and Eva make their escape in a bike, being chased by tons of guards on bikes, as well as Raven in the Metal Gear.
Hey! It's not over yet! There is no escape!
We failed!
Not good.
Hold on tight!
As a player, you sit in the sidecar and Eva automatically drives through areas and will automatically move on to the next area once a set amount of time has passed or when you have killed everyone. The frogs here are in really awkward places, such as a watchtower in the background and on the seat of a forklift truck. What makes it annoying is that Eva will constantly move about on a fucking bike, usually when you have lined up your shot. Ah, for fuck's sake, Eva. Jesus Christ, just keep the bike still. I swear she does it on purpose to make me miss the damn things. And the aiming is made even worse by the fact that the enemies will also be shooting at you, and that to move and aim you either got to slowly move the sniper rifle while scoped, or face an awkward change in direction on the bike in third person, which will just completely disorientate you. Both of which also waste what precious time you have to make the damn shot before Eva drives off again. The frog sitting on top of the watchtower is quite far away, so you're best off using your sniper, and the one on the forklift has an easier chance for you to hit it, but the time frame for the actual shot is quite small. However, the biggest and most bullshit ones are the frogs on the runway section of this first chase sequence, when you are being attacked by enemies on bikes, as well as Raven on the Metal Gear. There's two frogs here on this runway section that you just wouldn't even normally know were there without using a guide, because they are placed on two of the many signposts that are repeated alongside either part of the runway. To get these, you need to use the sniper rifle, and worse still, you have to pretty much ignore all the enemies that are shooting at you and constantly be focused on trying to hit these targets. So at this point, you aren't even playing the game properly. You have just a few seconds to hit each one, and if you miss, that's it, game over. You are escorted to the next area, and there's no way back unless you power off and hope that you save. It's still got the checkpoint beforehand. Why the fuck are there collectibles like this in an on the rails section? In fact, no, it's actually two on the rails sections, isn't it? Because there's another bullshit bike sequence a bit later on, which has some even more annoying frogs in awkward fucking places for you to try and hit within a short fucking time frame. This is just bullshit. Prepare to fail multiple times, so make sure you back up your saves so you can more easily restart the section when you inevitably miss one of these bullshit frogs. When you do shoot a frog as well, you can't always be certain of a hit on these sections, as they are so far away it's hard to see them move. Plus, these sections are really noisy with everything going on, so you can't even rely on the sound. So when you do shoot one, you then panic and start firing loads of bullets at it again just to be sure, by which point you then probably miss the next frog that's come up. It's not as bad as other collectible trophies, but it's just made stupidly frustrating by the ones in these bike sections of the game. So there you have it. Another bullshit collectible trophy with all the stereotypical bullshit elements of a universally hated trophy type, with some of its own sprinkling of bullshit layered over the top. Which is why the It Ain't Easy Being Green trophy in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater gets a bullshit trophy rating of...
No shit, man. Don't bullshit me. Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
Shit!
But one thing you can guarantee with pretty much every trophy list is that they always contain that one bullshit PlayStation trophy.
That one bullshit Metal Gear trophy.
Metal Gear Solid 4 is an awesome game, and its platinum, which was added a few years after the release, is a really tough but rewarding set of trophies, and it's one that I'm quite fond of due to the new experiences I had playing through the game in different ways for all of the trophies. However, along the way towards the platinum, you will hit a giant bullshit brick wall in the form of the Sounds of the Battlefield trophy. This gold trophy on Metal Gear Solid 4 is the hardest one in the game and the most bullshit, even though it's just a collectible trophy. Jeez, what is it with Metal Gear and bullshit collectible trophies, huh?
Did you like it?
There are 33 songs for you to get onto your in-game iPod, and at first glance, these don't sound like much, as 31 of the 33 songs are simply normal collectibles found in-game throughout the story missions, and they are pretty easily obtained. However, there are two songs, Big Boss and Snake Eater respectively, which make this otherwise simple trophy absolute bullshit. To unlock the Big Boss song, you need to complete the game and earn the Big Boss emblem, which is earned by doing the following. Complete the game in less than 5 hours, using no continues, no health items such as rations and regain, kill no enemies, have no alert phases, use no special items like the stealth and bandana, and complete the game on the Big Boss Extreme difficulty. Oh my god. Are you sure that's enough requirements there, Kojima?
Did you like it?
How about I complete the game without blinking while I'm at it? Jesus Christ, that's a tall order. So clearly that is a big challenge, and at times it's a rather frustrating playthrough. Trying to do the on-rails bike section in Europe chapter without using a ration and not killing anyone was a right pain in the ass, and some of the bosses themselves are quite tricky too. Overall though, it's a very rewarding challenge, and you do feel like a badass by the time you finish that playthrough. Then there's the Snake Eater song, which requires you to unlock all 40 emblems, which makes it a collectible hunt inside another bastard collectible hunt just for this trophy. This part is bullshit, as it bumps the playthrough count up to around 5 to 7 completions in order to unlock all of these emblems, and I think that is far too many for a platinum. Now sure, some of the emblems can be linked into one playthrough, such as the Eagle and Assassin ones, for getting X amount of headshots and knife kills respectively, but then there are others like Puma, which force you to play in a Rambo style, killing everyone and getting alerts, so now you need a whole playthrough or two devoted to that particular playstyle, as it goes against your stealth approach. There's also dull emblems, like hugging a wall for ages, or being crouched and prone for a set amount of time, that aren't really skillful at all, but are there just to simply pad out the amount of emblems you need to earn. Tying all these large objectives into one trophy just reminds me of SOCOM Confrontation's absolute bullshit trophy list, which got you to do 1,000,001 things in order to unlock just a single trophy, and then repeated it for the entire list. It just makes the trophy such a grind, and the worst thing was, I didn't even use the iPod when playing MGS4, so I didn't even listen to these bloody songs when I was playing the game. Plus, it's 2019 now, and iTunes is no more, so Snake has lost all of these fucking songs anyway. God damn it. And that is why the Songs of the Battlefield trophy gets a bullshit rating of...
No shit, man. Don't bullshit me.